From 4 News Now, this is Good Morning Northwest.
Well, good morning, Northwest. I'm Derek Dice.
And I'm Robin Nance. It is Tuesday, November 8th, Election Day. People are heading to the polls around the country and dropping ballots in the mailbox.
By the end of the night, we should know if and how the balance of power has shifted both locally and nationally. We begin our special For the People coverage this morning with where you can register to vote, get a replacement ballot if you need one, and more in Spokane County today.
Voter service centers are now open and will be until 8 o'clock tonight when those ballots are due. Destiny Richards is live at one of the voter service centers, this one at Spokane County Elections Office.
That's right. There are 2 voter service centers that are open right now. They're going to be open until 8 p.m. tonight. One is here at the Spokane County Elections Office. The other one is in Spokane Valley at the Center Place Event Center. That is at North Discovery Place. Both, again, going to be open until 8 p.m. And we've just been seeing people going in and out this morning at a steady pace. People inside asking questions about their ballot as well as registering to vote. So, again, you can register to vote at voter service centers. You can get any ballot issues resolved, get a new ballot or envelope, and you can also get any questions you have answered as well. Use an accessible voting unit. So again, that's all until 8 p.m. when ballots are due. That's when things close here, and also ballot drop boxes close at 8 p.m. Now, if you do live in Idaho, know that you have to go to a polling location. So you can go to the Idaho Secretary of State website, type in all of your address info, and that's how you know the polling location that you need to be at today. Now, coming up later, we're going to go inside, talk to the elections manager just about what he's seeing, the types of questions people are asking, so that you can get all of your voting needs taken care of until everything closes down at 8 p.m. So that is coming up a little bit later. I'll send it back to you guys for now.
All right, Destiny, thank you. There is a lot at stake locally this midterm election.
Yeah, from a Washington Senate seat to county commissioners and a local sheriff's seat that hasn't changed in 16 years. For the U.S. Senate, incumbent Patty Murray is running for her 6th term and facing a stiff challenge from Republican Tiffany Smiley. Murray received 52% of the vote statewide in the primary election.
In the Spokane County Sheriff's race, Ozzie Knezovich is stepping down but has endorsed his current undersheriff John Knowles over 20-year Sheriff's Office employee Wade Nelson. Both candidates are running as Republicans.
Kathy McMorris Rogers is running for her 9th term as the 5th District's representative in Congress, taking on Democratic challenger Natasha Hill.
The number of county commissioner seats goes from 3 to 5 this session, and all 5 of them are up for grabs in Spokane County. For District 1, which covers much of West Spokane, it's Chris Jordan taking on Kim Please. Both are political newcomers. For County Commissioner District 2, former City Council member Amber Waldreff takes on current council member Michael Cathcart. In District 3, current Commissioner Josh Kearns takes on Wild Bill Schreiner. Both are conservatives. The District 4 race pits another current commissioner in Mary Cuney against Paul Brian Noble. And finally, District 5 sees Maggie Yates taking on longtime Commissioner Al French.
And plenty of interesting races on the ballot in Idaho as well, including a 5-way race to become the state's next governor. Incumbent Governor Brad Little is up against 4 other candidates, including Democrat Stephen Hite and anti-government activist Eamon Bundy. Idaho has a Senate seat up for grabs as well, where Republican Mike Crapo is seeking his 5th term. The 71-year-old has a huge fundraising advantage in a state that hasn't elected a Democratic senator since 1974. And in the race for Idaho's Attorney General, 4-time Republican Congressman Raul Labrador faces off with Democrat Tom Arkush.
2 seats in the House of Representatives are also up for grabs in Idaho. In District 1, Russ Fulcher is likely to capture the seat, also sought by Democrat Kaylee Peterson and Libertarian Darian Drake. And in District 2, Democrat Wendy Norman is taking on Republican Mike Simpson, who served since 1999. You can see profiles for all of the candidates in our voter's guide on KXLY.com/forthepeople. Idaho voters will be dealing with icy roads when you head to the polls today. Election officials have asked volunteers to head to the polling locations early to be ready for the influx of voters. Driving to polling locations or waiting in long lines can seem more daunting when the weather gets colder. Election officials say this year's voter turnout may actually be higher than the last midterm election in 2018, so many polling locations might be more crowded.
We have been reaching out to our poll worker judges today and telling them to get there early so they can be sure, set up.
Now, polls in Idaho opened at 8 a.m. today. Election officials say if people are not voting at polling centers, they need to bring absentee ballots to the elections office or mail them to the elections office by 8 o'clock tonight.
And if you are voting by mail this election, your ballot must be postmarked by today or in a drop box by 8 o'clock tonight to be counted. Spokane County has 25 secure ballot drop box locations at local libraries, town halls, and other sites. You can find this interactive map with all the ballot box locations across eastern Washington. That's on KXLY.com.
And if you're trying to get to the drop-off boxes or polling places today, Mark Peterson is here to help you navigate those icy roads.
Well, one of the things we have on our side is the fact that we're going to see sunshine and some variable clouds, but that's going to help in making sure that those roads that were icy early today are going to, with de-icer and those road crews out, it's going to make it better. It's the outlying areas that are going to have those icy conditions, but they'll improve through the day. So if, again, you've got issues driving on ice, middle of the day is going to be your best opportunity to get out and get that done. Satellite and radar, yeah, we got a few clouds bouncing around, but that's it. Our road temperatures starting to warm up, and this morning they were at 19, now at 30 degrees. This is going to improve the road conditions as we see the day go forth. And of course, we're going to see 32 for today. That's going to be the high. We're going to see those temperatures into North Idaho as well. A little cooler into Bonners Ferry with highs up there into the upper 20s. But taking it easy and taking it slow is the way to go.
And at the Breaking Now desk, we're taking a look nationally as results trickle in from key midterm races. There are several shifts we might see that will decide Senate control. CNN has released its predictions for 6 battleground states. A blue to red shift could play out in Arizona, in part because election officials can start processing mail ballots as soon as they are received. Election workers spend days opening envelopes, verifying signatures, and piling stacks of ballots for easy tabulation. A red mirage is expected in Pennsylvania, where there are races for Senate and governor. This played out during the 2020 elections. Trump was ahead by nearly 700,000 votes on election night, but his lead evaporated as mail-in votes were tallied. This extreme shift was in part due to the fact that election workers in Pennsylvania can't start processing mail-in ballots until Election Day. 2 years ago, Georgia helped flip the U.S. Senate and the White House into Democratic hands. A similar blue shift is expected this year, where there are close races for Senate and for governor. Things are less clear in Nevada. There was a noticeable blue to red shift there 2 years ago, with Trump narrowing the lead over time, but not netting enough votes to overtake Biden. It's unclear if this post-election dynamic will repeat this year. Wisconsin is another state with a likely blue shift here, with votes looking better for Democrats over time. It's a relatively small state, and its vote count tends to go quickly. In Michigan, there might be a red to blue shift. State lawmakers passed a law last month letting many localities process their mail-in ballots before Election Day. This should speed up the count, meaning we will likely see a fuller picture of the overall results tonight. Most of these shifts do depend on the voting systems, which vary on a state-by-state basis. All these predictions are subject to change by tonight. Reporting in studio, Sydney Charles, 4 News Now.
All right, Sydney, thank you. Voting happening right now around the country. This is a live look at voters casting their ballots in Ohio. Polling sites across the country are now open, and millions of voters are casting their ballots in this consequential midterm election. At stake, control of Congress and most state houses with 36 governorships, all 435 House seats and 35 Senate seats up for grabs. ABC's Justin Finch continues our coverage of this high-stakes election.
Democrats and Republicans campaigning up until the 11th hour, calling in their heavy hitters.
Vote! Get out the vote!
You must vote Republican in a giant red wave.
Both parties hoping to win congressional majorities, with all 435 House seats and 35 in the Senate now in play.
It could not be any tighter in Congress.
Meaning control of either chamber could come down to a few races.
Everyone that's willing to go out and go knock on doors and to get out the votes right now, because there is just so much at stake right now.
In Pennsylvania, Mehmet Oz and his Democratic opponent John Fetterman locked in a tight Senate race, casting their ballots this morning and counting on their supporters to turn out.
I'm very proud of how we run this campaign. We want less radicalism and more balance.
The Georgia Senate race also quite tight. Both candidates taking parting shots before Election Day.
You cannot trust Herschel Walker to tell the truth about the basic facts of his life.
And I'm running because I'm sick and tired of people not loving this country.
Senate hopeful J.D. Vance voting Tuesday after former President Trump rallied for him in Ohio.
I think we're in a position where we'll win this race so long as people get out there and vote.
His opponent, Congressman Tim Ryan, trusting the voters.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you concede and you move on. But I feel really good.
Nationwide, record-breaking early voting with more than 44 million ballots already cast. Election officials now advising final results could take days as they process early and day of votes along with mail-in ballots. Justin Finch, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
Back here at home so far, fewer people have voted in Spokane County than expected. The county auditor says her office thought there would be around 6,000 mail-in ballots by Monday morning, but they received about 25% less than that.
The office is now preparing for a surge of voters at drop boxes today. Voter registration is still up compared to 2018. There are about 40,000 more registered voters in Spokane County. Election workers say people are now coming to voter centers for help if they need to change their address or get a new ballot. You can, as we've been telling you, still do both through tonight, but be prepared to wait.
Tomorrow, expect lines. Is that if you wait until the end, expect lines, for everyone else dropping off the ballots. We're expecting, heavy turnout at drop boxes and through the mail tomorrow and Wednesday.
By 8 o'clock tonight, they're expecting to have about 50% of total votes counted, and will start releasing results around that time. You can also track your ballot at votewa.gov. Thousands of ballots are rejected every election if the signature doesn't match. As of now, around 1,300 or 1% of ballots in Spokane County have been challenged.
All right, as we mentioned earlier, voter service centers are now open in Spokane and Spokane Valley for anyone who may need help getting their ballot in today.
The Spokane County Elections Office is already seeing people who are registering to vote or getting ballot issues resolved. We want to go back now to Destiny Richards, giving us a look at what's happening at the office.
Yeah, so since 7 a.m. this morning, people have been in and out of the Spokane County Elections Office using it as a voter service center. And we are here now with Mike McLaughlin, the Spokane County Elections Manager. Tell us just what you guys have been seeing since 7 this morning. Good amount of people here right now.
Yeah, the first people were in line about 5 minutes to 7, and it's been a steady stream of people throughout the day so far this morning. Yeah. And we've picked up about the drop boxes in the first round, about 5,000 ballots and 10,000 ballots through the mail this morning.
All right. And people, again, have until 8 p.m. to drop off those ballots, as well as come here to get their voter questions answered. I have a couple of questions just to ask. Maybe people at home may be wondering these things. If you forget your security envelope when you're voting, is it a good thing to open that up and put it in, or should you just get a new ballot here?
No, we will count your ballot if you forget to put the security envelope in. What we care about is the ballot and the signed declaration. So the security envelope doesn't matter. You can open your envelope, tape it shut again after you put the security envelope if you want, or if you do want one, you can come to our office or Center Place.
All right. And then if you accidentally rip your ballot, say you're opening it up for the first time and you accidentally rip the envelope that's inside, get a new ballot, or what should people do?
It's again the voter's choice. They can get a new ballot, or you can just tape your ballot and we will count it. It'll go through the scanner, taped that way. So we have procedures to handle that, and it will count.
All right. Any questions, Robin or Derek, for Mike here?
I do have one.
Yeah.
What happens if you want to register today? What kind of things do you need to bring? I'm assuming, your driver's license, but anything else?
That's a good one, because a lot of people are here right now. If anyone wants to register to vote, do they need to bring anything with them?
You have to have use your driver's license number or your last 4 of your social security number. We will verify that when it's entered into the system. So, we are checking ID that way. But otherwise, you do not need any ID or that to bring with you if you know those pieces of identification.
All Sounds good. Thank you so much for having us here. Again, lots of information. Always go to KXLY.com/forthepeople for all of your voting needs here on Election Day. I'll send it back to you guys in studio.
All right.
Good to know.
Yeah, for sure. Destiny, thanks so much. We will continue our For the People coverage all day long. Next up at 3 p.m., we'll have another live stream with Aaron Luna and Kirsten O'Connor on KXLY Plus and KXLY.com. Our primetime ABC coverage will bring you the national races and local coverage on 4 News Now.
On TV, streaming on KXLY Plus and on KXLY.com. We are your go-to source on Election Day. And make sure to tune in tomorrow on 4 News Now's Good Morning Northwest for the latest tallies overnight. We'll have that for you.
All right. Thanks so much for watching this special For the People edition of Good Morning Northwest on KXLY Plus.
Have a great rest of your morning and go vote.